All right. So, good morning, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to Monday Morning Motivation. Welcome to one more Monday Morning Motivation webinar. Today, I'm your host, Sophia. You're probably familiar with my face already. And I have the pleasure to have here with me Pierre. So, Pierre is now joining us from Brazil. It's evening time there. So thank you so much for joining us, Pierre, today. And today, Pierre is going to be talking about habit creation, 3 keys that you have been missing. And they are amazing keys. I was listening already in the 7 a.m. morning, and I can only tell you good things about it. Um, Pierre has founded Challengers Community in 2018, and since then, over 200 accountability groups have been created, and over 3,500 people have joined a variety of challenges from fitness to meditation, reading, writing, finance, and others. He also applies his own principles to his own life. And from all these experiments and feedbacks, Pierre has built a unique knowledge on personal development, goal setting, and habit creation. So I'm super excited to have him here. I already talked to him before. I really will want his input for my book, because I'm recently writing a book, and I have an accountability chapter. So I already decided, Pierre, you and we need to collaborate on that. So just in case we have some newcomers today, let me just talk a little bit of what MMM is. So MMM is also a community. I think we can also consider ourselves an accountability community, because we love to keep each other inspired. We love to share quotes that inspire us. We love to share some videos, some content. We also love to be here on Monday mornings, that day of the week that people usually have more resistance towards, right? And we have our free weekly webinars on Monday morning and on Wednesday morning in Chinese. We are now a community of more than 3,500 people, and we also love just to share these good habits. For example, waking up early, it's one of our values. In case you are not in our groups yet, we have now 8 WeChat groups. We have our Chinese group, we have Hangzhou community group. So if you want to join any of these groups, just feel free to add me or add Janine, and we will add you to the groups. And in case you are interested in becoming our member, the good news is that you will get unlimited access to the recordings of all the MMM webinars, both in English and Chinese. You will also get exclusive discounts from our partners, from amazing coaches to amazing psychotherapists, and so on. So feel free to scan the QR code down below and join us. And we also have our 365 days of motivation book, full of practical exercises, some self-coaching, amazing quotes. You can do some journaling. So it's an amazing gift for yourself, or for any other person, any other special person in your life. And in case you would like to support us, feel free to do so. We do all of these for free, but your contribution is also important to make the project grow more and more, and make a difference in other people's lives. The good thing is that you will also be supporting the environment at the same time, because 50% of the amount that you contribute with is actually going to be sent to the 1 million tree project that helps to plant trees in Inner Mongolia. And this week we have a special collaboration with Fuzzy Kitty volunteers. We have our Bluebell. So in our Monday morning meow MMM, it's our second MMM. And he is 7 months. He is a little shy, but very, very playful. He's in Shanghai. So if anyone wants to foster or adopt this little baby, he will be very happy to have a new home. Um, and just before I give the stage to Pierre, this is our lineup for March. So feel free to have a look. We have some amazing speakers, but I will get back to this in the end of our talk. And with no further ado, I'm gonna pass the word to Pierre. So Pierre, the stage is yours. Feel free to share
All
your.
right, thank you. So I hope the connection is going to work fine at the end of the first session that we had a little bit of difficulty with the connection. In any case, I'm super excited to be here. I'm super excited to be able to present you this presentation, and thank you for MMM to having me over. So without further ado, I want to start with a little game. So what I want you to do is, first of all, everyone raise your hand. So if you have your camera turned off, you can use the little action button. You know, you tap on the three dots and you have raised hand. So everyone raise your hand. And let me check that people actually raise their hands. Go ahead, raise your hand, put the action button. There we go. So if your hands up, go ahead, raise your hand, raise your hand, raise your hand. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to say a few things, and if it applies to you, you keep your hand up. So if it does not apply to you, you lower your hand. So for now, we all have our hands up, and we'll see how it evolves. So keep your hand up if you had a New Year resolution. So either in early February or in Chinese New Year. Okay. And keep your hand up if you kept your resolution by the end of the first week. So if you quit before the end of the first week, lower your hand. Same question for the 2 week mark. Did you reach the 2 weeks mark? You see, I start seeing some hands go down. And are you continuing your New Year resolution today? So if you quit your New Year resolution and you're not acting on it, lower your hand. All right, we see that there's maybe half of the people who lowered their hands. And in fact, this is quite normal. Most of the people, even though they're super motivated at the beginning, very fast they lose the motivation and they lose the energy. And after sometimes only a few days, they quit. And so today we're going to see a little bit why this happens and what we can do for it. So first of all, I want to see with you about setting your goals. So there's a lot of talk about goal setting, and the thing that I want to tell is that it doesn't need to be complicated. In fact, the simpler you put it, the best it's going to be. So let's have it in 3 steps. So first step is going to be to choose a destination. So here I want you to visualize what you want, what is your goal? How are you going to be there? Can you see yourself and what's scenery, what's surroundings? Do you have any emotions? Are you feeling stressed or happy? Are you feeling cold, hot or cold? Or do you have any smells and tastes that you can relate? Or is there maybe some noise around you? Do you have other people speaking with you? Are you having any kind of actions or interaction with people? All of this, try to put more image, more elements to your visualization of your goal. And this will help you to keep it in mind, to anchor it in your mind, and you'll be able to act on it easier later. Then once you have your destination, I want you to figure out the first action that you can do right now. Well, the first one, you don't need to look at the future. You don't need to have the full plan that is going to take you to your destination. This is going to be the future, and it's impossible to predict the future. Maybe there's going to be a rainy day, maybe there's going to be some illness, maybe there's going to be any kind of obstacles on the way that you cannot predict. And so focus on the first action you can do today and do it. And once you've done it, repeat. And when I say repeat, you can repeat either having the next step and doing it, or you can also reset and readjust your destination. Because as you're going to go along and you're going to learn new things, you are going to change also yourself. You're going to change your mindset. You are going to have more skills, more knowledge about what you're working on. And so your destination might evolve, and this is perfectly normal. So let your destination evolve and take the time regularly to reset your destination and to visualize your new destination. So here's an example of the migration of a bird. So they put a GPS chip on a European honey buzzard bird back in 2015, and every day they recorded the location of the bird. So the migration of the bird was from South Africa and arrived in Finland. And what we can see is that, generally speaking, the destination was going north. And the bird wanted to arrive, it's a migration, to arrive in somewhere comfortable with a comfortable climate. And what you can see also is that sometimes it goes a little bit to the right, sometimes it goes a little bit to the left. And there is also in the middle, or a little bit on the top, a place where the bird goes back a little bit. And I want you to keep this in mind. We'll come back to it later. So you've probably heard about SMART goals, and personally speaking, I've rarely seen a SMART goal work. And so I'm going to go very fast on this because I don't want to lose too much time. But SMART goals are not necessarily that smart. So if we take an example of, let's say, running a marathon. So SMART is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. So if you want to set to run a marathon, it's specific and measurable, no problem. It's running 42.2 kilometers. That's very specific. Achievable, not necessary, and realistic. It's like if you set yourself the goal to run a marathon, it's probably because you don't know if you can achieve it. So it's the achievable, it's not applicable here. And the timely, you maybe do not have a specific time on when you want to run your marathon. So out of those 5 letters, there's only 2 you can actually answer. The 3 others are unanswerable. And same for learning how to draw. It's even worse in this case. If you want to learn how to draw, if I want to learn how to draw today, I could say I know how to draw. I know how to draw a stick figure, very simple. It's not a nice drawing, it's not a good drawing, but it is a drawing. So it's learning how to draw is not very specific and it's not measurable. Is it achievable? Again, if I want to learn how to draw, it's probably because I cannot today and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do it. Realistic, again, same thing. And timely, I'm just wanting to improve my skill of learning, my skill of drawing, and I don't have any time limits. So on those 5 letters, even though it's a good goal, on those 5 letters, I can answer none of them. So what I want to present to you today is what I call dumb goals. Having a destination with unknowns to create motion and build change. So the destination part, we already saw about it. It's about setting your mind and having the visualization. But as you're going to go along, you're going to have a lot of unknowns. Everything in the future is unknown. Everything that hasn't acted on is unknown. There might be some good days. There might be some bad days. There's probably going to be some bad days and good days along the way. And that is perfectly fine. So be comfortable with the unknowns that are going to present itself to you. You know there are going to be some unknowns. So be ready for it. And what you want to do is start creating motion. Once you're into the motion, it's going to be a lot easier to be able to create more motion from it. So having the first step to get you started is going to be crucial here. And once you have this motion, you're going to be able to build yourself, to build your knowledge, to build your habits. So now that we have our goal, how come we're so motivated at the beginning, but only a few days in, we just keep on, we quit, we lose the motivation, we lose the energy, and somehow we're not able to keep on going forward. Let me take you out a little bit out of the box with surfing. So we have all seen some surfers, they ride the wave really smoothly. It seems so nice and refreshing with the ocean. But the question I want to ask you is, how do you think they go back behind the wave? To be able to ride that wave, they need to go back before. So do you think they face the wave head on? Why, if they do, it's going to be quite difficult. You know, they're going to fight the first wave, they're going to be washed around, and the next wave, you're going to watch them again and again and again. And eventually, you know, they get tired and they're going to quit. So surfers learned a long time ago that you do not fight against the elements, you go with the elements. So in the sea, there is what we call riptide, rip currents. And those currents are where the water goes out into the open sea. The waves bring the water to the coast, and after you need to have the water to go out to the open sea. So by using those rip currents, surfers are able to go out into the open sea and simplify the fact of going behind the wave. Those rip currents are at the same time very dangerous if you're just a tourist having fun in the water, as they are going to bring you out into the open sea and you're going to fight against the currents if you want to get back to the coast. So great for surfers, horrible for tourists. And so the question I want to ask you is, what currents are you currently in? Usually when we want to create a change in our life, we just turn around and face the current straight on. And of course, this is very difficult. This is exhausting. So instead of just turning around, try to have something that can change in your environment. You know, what is your current environment? What are the people you're taking to? Who are the people around you? Where is your home and neighborhood located? What work are you focusing on? What extra activities? What is driving you forward? And all these are things that are going to create a flow around you that will be hard to escape. So if you manage to modify, to adjust your flow, you're going to be able to get into to your destination a lot more easily. So this is what we try to do in Challenges community. So we organize every accountability groups organized by theme, so that when you join one of our groups, you are surrounded by other people having a similar goal as you are having. So for example, we have a fitness group, we have reading, writing, there is yoga, there is meditation, there was personal finance. Today there's 13 groups starting this month, and all this helps you to go forward. So here's a quick story of one of the participants that joined, Anna. She joined very early in Challengers a few years back, and when I first met her, I met her in a networking event, and she told me she had this goal, this thing she wanted to act on, but on her own there was always something that was more important. There was another project, there was another thing that she had to work on first, and she never managed to actually act on her goal. And when she joined Challengers, she was with other people challenging themselves, and it allowed her to give her the extra little nudge, the extra little push that allowed her to actually finally take action towards her goal, and she was able to finally get forward. So afterwards, she kept on joining Challengers. She even became a group guide, so she led her own groups into Challengers, and she kept on going, and it allowed her to go into a new career of becoming a coach. And she did a coach training during which she kept on going to Challengers to help her apply this knowledge to what she was learning. And today I'm very happy to say that she has a certified trainer, and she has started her new business of coaching. Another story is Chris, who started also very early in Challengers, and his first challenge when he joined us was to learn how to code, how to code on a program on the computer. He came back afterwards to learn to build his own website, and he had a vision in his mind of building his own online shop. So he built his website as an online shop, and after he came back a third time to populate his shop with articles, with copywriting, with some text, and try to actually make a business from it. So with a few challenges, he was able to build his own business from scratch. Now, getting back to our key points. So the third point is you are going to have some down days. There's going to be ups and downs all the time during your habit building, during your learning of any skill. And that is perfectly fine. This happens all the time. So when it happens, I want you first to be okay with it, to notice it, but to be okay with it. And this is probably a good opportunity for you to try something new and take advantage of the situation. If we get back to the example of running a marathon, if it's literally raining outside, there's rain pouring, you cannot go out. So what can you do instead? Maybe you can analyze a little bit the progress you had. Look back where you started. What was the first along those few weeks before to arrive where you are today? You're going to see a progress. There were some updates, some days. You can reflect on it. And what you can also do is maybe do a little bit of research online, or if you were able to film yourself running, maybe you can analyze your running gait, how you were running, and improve for it. So it's not because you cannot take the action you wanted. There is an unknown that happened, it started raining, then adjust to it. It's perfectly fine to not be able to do 100% of what we want, as long as we try to evolve with it. Now, if we go back to that bird we saw earlier, remember that part where he was going a little bit down? Well, this is his rainy days. He had a good week there probably of rainy days. He couldn't go forwards. He wanted to go north, but there was this open space of water that he could not cross. So he went back a little bit because it was his next best option. And he kept going back and a little bit back and a little back until finally he was able to keep on going forwards, and he had the opportunity to go forwards. So this is what's going to happen probably for you at some time. You're going to have a few days that are going to be difficult, and that is perfectly fine. What I want you to do is don't let a single bad day ruin your long time effort. So to summarize a little bit everything that we talked to today is, first, have a goal, a destination, have a mental image of where you want to do, visualize it. And because you're going to have it in mind, is going to present you the different options, you are going to be able to choose the best option that is going to bring you towards your goal and towards your destination. And by adjusting your environment, you're going to have better options presented to you. And sometimes you're not going to be able to have some good options presented to you. Everything is going to bring you back a little bit. It's going to have a few setbacks, and that is perfectly fine. Keep on trying, keep on working on it, and eventually you will learn enough to be able to unlock your situation. You will have an opportunity that will present itself to you to be able to move forward. One final thing as a little bonus. So you probably heard about creating a habit in 21 days. And that is actually a myth that started a long time ago. It's actually difficult to find the origin, but it seems to be coming from a book published in 1960 by Maxwell Maltz called Psycho-Cybernetics. And so Maxwell Maltz was a plastic surgeon, and so working after the World War, he had a lot of facial recognition and amputation happening, and he observed on his patients that people having facial recognition didn't recognize their face straight ahead. It took them a little bit of time, and it took them about 3 weeks, 21 days to recognize their face in the mirror. And same for amputations. People having amputation had what they call a phantom limb. Even though the hand, for example, wasn't there anymore, if there was a glass of water they wanted to grab, they would still reach out with their missing hand, with that phantom limb. And it would, again, take them about 3 weeks to lose this sensation of phantom limb. So what does it mean to us? Well, it means that in the most dire situation, it will take us at least 21 days, right? But the most recent research and publication shows that it takes closer to 60 to 66 days on average to create a habit. And in fact, it's very broad. The research shows it goes from 21 days up to 90 days and more. So the spectrum of how long it takes to create a habit can be quite. Build the habit is by repetition again and again, and it's probably going to last a bit longer than 21 days. And to finish, I want to invite you to a challenge group. This is only for us. I will not share this in the community. So go ahead and scan if you can. If you can't, send me a personal message. I will invite you in the group. And what I want you to do first thing when you join this group is share your goal that you want to have and you're going to work on for the next 30 days. So for 30 days, we're going to be sharing on a daily basis, what have you done? What have we succeeded? What have you failed? And you can also ask there additional questions, follow-up questions if you want. But together, we're going to be able to grow as a group. If you had some New Year's resolution that you quit and you want to maybe give another try, this is also a good opportunity. So first thing you do when you join this group, share your goal, your vision, your destination. And this will already get you involved into your next step and will get you started. That's it for me.
Thank you so much, Pierre. That was amazing. Thank you. Thank you again. I love your talk, and I really resonate a lot with this topic. And you were talking about setting a goal, right? And I was just thinking, I feel that, a goal is never really about reaching a specific destination. That's why I also don't resonate too much with SMART goals, because I believe it's not about the specific destination. When you set a goal, you are setting your vision, right? You are seeing forward, like you are seeing how your future is going to be, right? But it's not about a specific goal, but more about the vision that you create and the direction, right, that you are moving towards. So I really resonated with your dumb goals. Thank you so much. And guys, now the stage is yours, so feel free to ask your questions. Pierre is now here with us, so feel free to write your questions down below or unmute yourself, and speak out your questions. David, do you have a question? Yes, David?
Hello.
Oh, Mathieu, Pierre.
Yeah.
Hi. Good
So
morning.
I have a goal what is more about how I do the things than a goal like became like a goal like saying I want to learn Chinese, for example. My goal is more about, or I don't